Paranormal Karen, she's so spooky. Paranormal Karen, funny too. Paranormal Karen, she's so spooky. Oh, and did I mention she's funny too? Yeah, cha-cha-cha.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Paranormal Karen. Today I'm doing a Potpourri episode with at least two people. I don't know if there's going to be three. But listen, everybody, go to my website and check dates because a couple of them are moving, but I've added South Carolina. I've added Hilton Head, Charleston. I've added all kinds of places. So I may be coming to your town. So go to shows, click on upcoming shows, and everything is listed. I'm all over the place, everybody. I'm up north, Wine County of California, all over. And also don't forget about my Patreon. Sign up for free, get a taste of what's going on. It's going to be great. So I think that's everything. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok. All my psychic stand-up clips are up. All right, so we are starting today's Potpourri episode with my friend Kelly Hepper. How are you, Kelly?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good. So Miss Kelly, I'll tell everybody why I'm having you on today. Cause on the Patreon, I put up, on the Patreon, there's a place where I do a podcast. I do two that are just me talking about stuff, online, what I'm, scary stuff, fun stuff, inspirational stuff. And one of the things I came across was this sort of conspiracy, which I think conspiracy is a good word. So I'm not saying that is a bad word, about empathy, kind of a war on empathy, that there was a certain group that was saying empathy is bad. And I had listened to this woman who sometimes I listen to on TikTok, although she's a little extreme for me. And she was saying, this has been a tool of Christianity forever to make you self-centered, or it was something like that. And I half agreed with her. And then I put it on the podcast and Kelly came back with just this fabulous comments that kind of pushed me a little the other way. So, Kelly, when I say, tell me what you said or your views on why empathy, can I say there's a middle ground? Does that sound right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, hit me.
Yes. So, what it brought up in my mind was this little book that I got from the very first reader I ever did a session with, Carrie Chapman, rest in peace. And she had this tiny little section that said information on empaths. And I'll just read what it says here. She says, "It is my understanding that it is not to anyone's highest good to be empathetic. Taking on another's life lessons and disease can kill you. Everyone signed up for certain experiences, and through these experiences, it brings great wisdom, healing experience. To take these life lessons on for another person and experience them yourself, either through healings or readings, is breaking spiritual law. They need these lessons or they would not be experiencing them. We can help them and guide them to their own healing and releasing, but we must not take on their experiences or disease." And so that just really stuck out in my mind. And I've read that a long time ago and I was like, okay, whatever, just put that in the back of my mind.
Mm-hmm.
But you had read something about this guy that, propped this perspective up through using the story of the prodigal son. And just as a reminder, if people don't know, it's the story in the Bible where this guy had two sons and one of the sons came and is like, "Hey, Pops, I want my inheritance right now. Thank you." And then he went off his merry way and he proceeded to just foolishly blow it. And he had nothing left. He was like working, like feeding the pigs, and was so at the end of his rope that he was eating what the hogs were eating. And it said something like, and no one would help him. And this is what they were saying, like, this is where, empathy is bad. And like, yeah, don't help him. Because what it did was it sent him back to being, he needed to swallow his pride, be humble, go back to his father and make amends. And his father welcomed him with open arms. And it brought him back to unity with his father. And so it's like, there's a fine line where it's like, yeah, no one helped him, but that made him grow.
Mm-hmm.
So this like, so I was so glad that you asked me to talk about this because it really like I was able to, I went through so many stages of learning about this aspect of my own. And so I was looking up, empathy versus compassion. And
Right, and that's the key. I think that those two words are the line. Go ahead.
well, it's even more fine between those. So empathy is understanding and sharing feelings of others, and then compassion includes a desire to help and alleviate suffering. And so then you have this even more fine point, and this is how I was taught in my energetic healing practice. This is what my teacher really hit home, and it's about holding the space of full presence and understanding without the needing to fix, absorb, or act.
Okay,
And that's
and do you have an example of that? Because I know, is that like with a tarot client that is broke, and so I go, "Oh, I feel bad. You can have this for free, or I'll give you some money." Is that like a good example?
that is a really great example because I mean, I myself, I'm like, I get that there's something here because I have been, I'm a person that feels very motivated to help others. However, I
Mhm.
know that it's been in an unhealthy way for a lot of my life, and I end up feeling taken advantage of or manipulated. And so this being able to like find the distinction among these areas, it's like being the compassionate witness, being loving awareness, being fully present. And so this is like having your point of consciousness tapped up into the place of the all knowing, all seeing oneness of all. And then, and just through the imagination, like connecting up to God's source, full consciousness, 0 point. That is where my intention is going to when I'm with this client. I am remembering the truth of who you are outside of space and time, outside of this 3D. I am remembering your wholeness. I am being witness to your suffering. But if we are all individuated expressions of the divine incarnate, then who am I to come into your lane and start helping you unless you actually legitimately want or need that help? So,
That's
yeah,
a
go ahead.
that's a good point because I can like there's a homeless lady. So this is where it gets kind of so I started giving money to the homeless shelter, not the homeless people, but there was a lady that I was helping for a while, and I saw someone provided her a place to live, and then all of a sudden she was out. And I think that there was this family that takes in homeless people and then tries to give them a chance, but she must have done drugs or something, and that ended. Um,
Right. Because it's like, what help is going to actually be truly helping or just enabling?
Enabling, yes, and yet I had another, my mind escaped me for a second. So that can be where you have to say that person is where they want, she made the choices. She's making the choices to be where that's that old saying, everyone is where they want to be, whether we want to say
Yeah,
that or not. Right.
sure. Like it's their karmic, it's the karmic lessons that you came here to learn, and it's knowing how and when to take action. And so
So,
that comes to I think that comes back to human design then. Like then it goes back to your authority. And
and
you're a generator, yeah?
okay, you know what? I don't know. I also feel like sometimes I say, and I know this sounds crazy, but I'll say, "Is that Jesus?"
Mm,
Like, and I don't mean that like literally, but I mean like, isn't I have this theory that
right.
Jesus is everyone. Like Jesus would be the rich guy in the car, he would be the poor person. Like, does that make any sense? How I say, "Is
I
this
mean,
Jesus?" Not even what would Jesus do if Jesus came back. Is that Jesus? I know that sounds crazy.
no, and I mean, I kind of get it, but I mean, I also go, yeah, Jesus is in the car, the rich guy in the car.
Yes, he is,
I
yes.
mean, I mean,
You're correct.
it's, I mean, so I just kind of leveled up in this area recently. I took a trip with my daughter to Canada, and we were, walking the streets in Toronto, and there's a lot of people out on the streets, doing drugs out in the open.
Mm-hmm.
And I just had energetically, I had a different experience where it was just more full of, I just looked at him and I go, oh, that's my brother. That's somebody's son. He is
Right.
loved. And I felt the love and connection, but I didn't feel the prompt. I didn't feel this feeling of like guilt, like, oh, I should help him.
Oh, you
Because I
think, but that's
felt,
guilt.
yeah, because I think what this like prompting, this like, a lot of times from my experience has felt this feeling of guilt and shame. Like, how can I have such a great life when others suffer so much?
Mm-hmm.
And feeling guilty for what I have. But in a way, I just kind of started, I don't know, it's just all the work I've been doing where I felt more of a distinction. And I think that's where the being an empath is not beneficial because it we really need to know thyself. And when you're an empath, it can cloud the knowing of the self because you
Yes.
feel that connection with other. And so you really feel their suffering and you want to help their suffering so that you don't have to feel the suffering. And this also comes back to a point that I've been learning about within myself is recognizing this pattern where I would shut myself down from true authentic expression because I would be afraid that it would, cause someone else to bristle. And I don't want to ruffle their feathers because then I'm going to feel it. So then I shut down my authentic expression so that I can like stay in connection with others.
Okay, so this takes me to an even a deeper level of what we're talking about because also there's empathy and there's people pleasing. And
Oh,
there's
yes.
and there's the hero complex. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh,
All
yeah.
of those together are also kind of they're also like maybe one without the other. Like I think this is the other problem. I really believe Christianity, or let's not even say real. I believe there is a movement. Elizabeth Gilbert talks about this, and if you can find her on TikTok or on Instagram, go watch about how all the spiritual leaders are men, and they are teaching us to be empaths, people pleasers, quiet. They're actually, you know what I mean? Don't be loud. Don't change things. Don't I think that is part of it. So we are taught even the empathetic part, give up for that person. That is being taught to women.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, no, I mean, I've had very heavy people pleasing and hero complex within myself. And I just in the last couple months, I feel like I've leveled up a little bit in this where it is honorable to just let people be where they are.
Yeah.
Because one, there's who we are in the 3D. There's who we are at our soul level outside of the space time, perspective dimension. And then there's this commitment. Some people recognize that their soul self is like eternal and they are committed to bringing more of that soul into incarnate to be expressed through the personality in this lifetime. I am very committed to that within myself. Some people are not committed to that. So when their commitment is not there, it's almost like it's not worth investing your time because if you are, this goes to a human design thing, if you are saying yes to the wrong opportunities, then it's like an energetic suck.
Mm-hmm.
You are putting your energy where it's not supposed to be. You got to stay in your lane. And so that learning how to say yes to the correct opportunities for me, I'm a generator, or a manager, and I'm a solar, like a sacral accordion. And so I literally, and I don't know how this works with other people, but it's literally feeling the yeses and nos in the body. And so I'll say to myself, if I'm, just yesterday, I was going, oh, I could, with my mind said, oh, I could go do this thing. And I got it ready and I started to do it. And then I took a pause and I went, wait a minute, ask the body, because I know the body has the intuition. And I said, it's in the highest divine alignment for me to do this thing. And I got a no. And I was like, oh, okay. So I switched and, I know those two timelines existed. And I know the one that I honored the yes had more peace and ease in that timeline.
Great.
The other one's going to have more frustration.
Is it?
I am.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, is it for you a feeling or that's funny because I just recently started doing body testing where you loop your fingers together and pull.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so as a musician, I recognize before I found human design, I recognized the intuition lies in the body because I could feel how the bass would be off and my body would say there's a better musical choice to be made. He wasn't wrong in the choice he made, but my body said there's a better choice. So then I had to use my mind to communicate. And I'm like, this is outdated technology. This mind is outdated. I started saying that, and then I found human design, and I'm like, there it is. I freaking love it so much. I am just so deep into human design right now. And I've been playing with it. So I feeling the yeses and nos. And sometimes I blast through that stop sign and I do it anyway. And then I look back and I go, oh, I can definitely see that I am in a place of feeling frustration. And that is the signal to know when you're off course as a generator.
I wonder if I'm a generator. How did you think that I was a generator? Did we talk about this?
I don't know. I've been wondering what you are. You can give me your digits and I can tell you everything I know.
Okay.
It's important to know because if you're an emotional authority, it means that you need to let your emotions, you have to go through your emotions and let them settle before you can make a clear, you can access that sacral. And when I went to Canada with my daughter, we are both sacral authorities, and we were outside the emotional authorities that we have spent so many years with. And we just found this coherence. It was like I didn't even know we had this coherence because we were always around these emotional authorities. So it's just fascinating.
All right. So I think, I guess I don't have it in here. I thought I had it I had it somewhere. And then Apple changed how you can look at your pictures, and it makes me so angry. All right. Well, all right. So that makes okay. So I think I also interrupted you there. Was there anything else?
That's okay. I mean, I have a lot of so I guess
you were talking about, I'm sorry, all the way back to the beginning, empathy and compassion and people pleasing and the difference.
And right. Well, it's right. So the difference, it's just coming back to that the people pleasing and the hero complex, those are all ego motivated. They're coming through, there's some kind of personality aspect that is protecting, or it serves a purpose. And so it's really like looking underneath to see what the motivation is. And it all comes back to knowing yourself. You have to know yourself. You have to get clear on what's yours, what's mine, and what's ours.
Not only that, I feel like that is the key to everything right now. Like I was thinking, so I'm having some weird stuff go on, and my tarot cards have been beyond like almost the doctor is like, maybe we should just go to your tarot cards. And I think it's like a lot of people will really diss on that and be like, they want to say, well, it's a tool or it's a crutch or something like that. And I'm like, you know what? It's my crutch. So shut up.
Yeah. It's a tool. I mean, it's a ritual. It's a communication that you've developed. I haven't developed that yet. I mean, I've been working with my learning the yeses and nos within my body. And but it's just a tool.
Yes. And it can be, there are certain people like, oh, I outgrew it or something like that. And I can't even, that's ego. Again, that's ego, all that stuff. But yeah, I think it's really interesting. Do you have a good, okay. And I just pulled up my chart as we were talking. Hang on. So now, since I want to make this all about me, I pulled up my thing. Okay.
Never mind, folks. This is an hour.
Yes,
I'm doing a human design reading.
I am a generator. And to respond, generator. Do those two things mean the same?
Sacral authority or emotional authority.
Okay. Let's look for either of those words. Frustration, generator, emotional theme. Higher.
So emotional.
Oh, so I am emotional. Okay. Higher emotional theme is satisfaction.
Okay.
16.
I mean, because it's Oh, it's 6'2". Okay.
Yes, emotional sacral. Inner
Okay, so
authority.
this is super important for you to recognize because I mean, I can keep going here unless you want it on the
Let's go a
podcast.
few more minutes. I'm going to split this episode in half, 30 and 30 instead of 20, 20, 20. But if it has something to help people know the difference between emotional or empathy and compassion and whatever, that's the theme we started with, right?
Sure. Yeah, I can connect it there.
Okay. Oh, we're running. We're still on.
Okay.
I paused it there for a minute, folks. I just want to tell you everybody, this has been a day, and I just had a really wild phone call right before this. So, anyways, keep going, my dear. I appreciate how grounded you are today.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so we were talking about your human design, and you just looked up and saw that you are an emotional authority. So that, and 70% of the population are generator auras. So that means we have access to a motor center and we are the workhorse of the planet. We are here to work, but we're here to do the work that we love. And so that means, and we have this aura that draws opportunities to us, and that means saying yes to the correct opportunities for you. So learning how to say yes to the right things. For you, my dear, you're an emotional authority, and that means when a thing comes to you, in your, if you have some feelings around it, your emotions, you have to let those cycle through and have their come to a settled place before you can get clear about the yeses and nos. And you can adopt the word or the phrase, let me sleep on it. Let me get back to you.
Mm-hmm.
And so
I should be better about that, though. I kind of react fast.
That's to learn. So the theme, when you're not in your, in alignment with your human design, that theme then is frustration. So you can look back in your life and go, oh yeah, I mean, yep, those frustrations. And I was kind of off the path when I was saying yes to that thing. So you'll have more peace when you're saying yes. And the theme is satisfaction. You'll feel more satisfaction when you're saying yes to the correct opportunities for you.
Okay. Me.
Oh, bless you.
This is all over the place. I really, I just enjoy doing the podcast like this. Like, I'm going to call Kelly and we're going to talk. And I know other people are like, the sound has to be better. You got to edit out the sneezes. You got to do that. I'm not doing it. No, I don't care.
No, it's authentic. It's authentic. And that's like where we're moving to. Like, being authentic is what creates emotional intimacy. Just being really real.
I could not feel, well, I'm a little bit politically active because I feel like that's okay. So here's a good question connected to empathy. I feel like we are going so down the wrong road. And I know there's some of that, like, well, don't get involved because you're just making the pendulum swing. But at what point, who is going to get involved? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we're getting bulldozed. So what do you do?
I mean, I think it does come back to, what is your sphere of influence? First and foremost, when you want to change the world, you have to look at it within yourself. So when you are getting activated by things in the world, I mean, there's, different layers of this, but like, recently I had a dream that brought up a bunch of family stuff. And so my mind was going, gosh, I want to help them. I want to, teach them. I want to help them wake up. But that is pretty useless energy, because if they don't have that commitment to becoming, their soul self, being more embodied on this planet, then it's just going to fall on deaf ears. It's going to be like talking Charlie Brown adult. But I can take that energy and go, okay, it's activating something within me, because there's something within me that needs that love and compassion. So you turn all that energy that you want to turn to the external to say, if the external was just this way, then I could feel better. That is the trap of being an empath. If the external was better, then I would feel better. No, the external is going to be a shit show. You have to find that peace within yourself. So you turn everything to the internal and you go love and compassion inside of me is what's going to change the world, because when you change your frequency, that changes your sphere, it changes your family, your friends, your community, and it goes outward. And everybody who is really committed to embodying their soul self on this planet, doing this work right now, is what's going to change the planet. It's not about looking outward and it's saying that needs to change. It's this in here, my heart. It's being grounded so deeply rooted within myself, so that my soul self that is outside coming in here to this 3D can express the true love for all.
So I love that, and this isn't really a disagreement, but
Yeah.
that didn't really help Hitler. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't help stop Hitler. Like, here's a weird thing, and I'm throwing so much at you, Kelly, that I didn't even ask you about, or I don't
Kelly, you need to answer for Hitler right now.
I know, right? And that's why I say, I don't mean that's like, I agree with everything you're saying, but there's another thing, and there's another thing going on right now, which is I feel like people are being dragged into the 3D at this moment, whether it's with health issues, sudden cancers, or all of a sudden someone's psychic practice falls apart. They have to get a regular job. I haven't had a regular job in a year. I got to do it. There is something about woo-woo folks being dragged into the 3D and 3D folks being pulled into the woo-woo. And I kind of feel like, because like I said, I don't have an argument with anything you said, but I do feel like freedoms are slipping away. And if we don't stop that, maybe it's just me, we won't have the opportunity to do what you said. But it's like one of those catch-22s. Like,
I mean, we're being motivated. I mean, I'm in it. I have a friend that I'm really close with, and because of the circumstances I've been through, I'm very empathetic towards her situation, and I'm finding how do I stand in, like, what is that line? When do I take action? When do I hold deep presence? Because when you're holding that deep presence with your consciousness up at that 0 point in neutrality, so that they can, feel that connection to the all, and remember, start, remembering their wholeness. Like, we're healing each other in that. But we're also like, we're bridging the gap to a new way of being. So we're in this clunky space where we're at the end of the old paradigm and the beginning of a new. We're creating a new thing that we don't have a roadmap for. We are creating. So it's like, it's beingness. It comes down to the beingness. And this is, back to the point that I was making. It's who you are being and your frequency, because integrity is the new currency. It's not about in the 3D, how much work we can do. It really is. It's integrity is your currency right now, as we are moving into the new age.
Okay. I like that. And I think I'm going to stop there because I'm getting into a weird political space. You're doing a great job. And by the way, you've been wonderful. But I'm so like getting pulled into the 3D world because and I don't even know what you or anyone else is doing, but I'll just put it this way. That poor man that got thrown into El Salvadorian prison, and this might be where empathy and compassion, I don't know what to do. I also don't want to, like, if there was something to do, I would like to do it. I don't know what that is. I can protest this, that. Somebody's doing it. Great. Somebody's taking care of that. And by the time this comes out, we will have some sort of a change. But I see so many people that maybe this is too empathetic that can't do that. But if I sit and think long enough, what if your life was changed that fast? Like, I can't let that happen to someone else. Obviously, like we were saying, that's his lesson somewhere. Or maybe he's, hopefully he's back by then. But that is the place where I get stuck. Like, then I feel like we have to call or something. And everybody has to do what their heart tells them to do. But, yeah. So anyways, that's why I don't want to make you answer that because there isn't an answer. Does that make sense? Like, I need you to, Kelly, I need you to solve the problems of
Answer for Hitler.
and deportations that are not going well. And if you don't, I'm not airing this.
It does I do think it comes back to that, like, the energetic level where you're, I mean, maybe it sounds like a cop out too, but like pulling back the energy, because it's like you getting activated by that is not good for you. It's not good for anyone else. Like, you're giving your power away.
Okay.
You know, we didn't used to be able to see the news on the other side of the world. You're giving your power away. So it's like, what action can I, because it makes you feel disempowered. That's the thing that sucks.
Yes.
You're feeling disempowered. So how can you take your power back? One, you can do whatever you want, but I recommend really learning how to process the emotions. And we were not, I am learning so much about this, like recognizing when the body's getting activated, because it is like nervous system stuff, nervous system dysregulation. Because it's, those signals are for a reason. It's such a, like, it's fucking baklava. It's so layered. So there's no clear answers, and it's very individualistic.
I am going to give you a big applause on that, though, and here is why. Because you know what does make me feel powerful is to, and I will say this, I went to one of those protests, and God bless you, Utica. I can't believe all the people that showed out, and every single person that showed up said, I thought I was going to be standing here alone. And it was hundreds and hundreds of people, streets lined. So exactly what you said. What does it, how do you take your power back? And it can be just saying a prayer for that man, or it can be going to a protest, but that was brilliant. Making art. All right, listen, Kelly, you're brilliant. And people, if you want to hear more of Kelly, join my Patreon.
Perfect.
Yes. But this is wonderful. Do you have a place where people can follow you or listen to your words of wisdom or your music?
Yeah, you can certainly see what I'm up to or what I haven't updated yet on my website, kellyhepper.com. It's Hepper like pepper, but with an H. kellyhepper.com. I have some stuff streaming on all platforms in terms of music. I have some music videos out.
And you're at the end of my of my podcast. That's
Paranormal
Kelly.
Karen.
Yes.
You spooky queen.
All right. I love you, Kelly. Thank you so much.
Oh, right back at you. Thank you.
All right, everybody. I will be right back with the 5+2 theory with Daisy. You're going to love it. Hey, everybody. After the Lori Bell episode, a bunch of you guys reached out and said, Karen, where are you getting mushrooms legally online? So I reached out to the company and I said, hey, would you guys like an ad on my podcast? And they said, hey, would you like to be an affiliate? And that was the day I learned what an affiliate was. So I am now an affiliate for mycholine.com. Folks, these are the real deal. This is not on Instagram or places where you see, hey, there's some lion's mane and you might feel better and you might not. These are real mushrooms. And they come in a liquid concentrate form with 4 great flavors. Blue raspberry is my favorite. If you are microdose curious, this is a fabulous way to give it a shot. They come with wonderful instructions. 1 to 4 squirts is microdosing or just relaxing. 5 to 8 is a little more of that party feeling. If you're out partying with people and they're all drinking, that's kind of where you want to be. And 8 and above does its thing. I am perfectly happy with 5 or 6. I haven't gone to 8, but I've read the reviews and people are very, very happy. So you want to go to mycholine.com, MyColean, and you're going to use coupon code Karen71367. All one word, all capital letters, Karen71367 for a 10% discount. Go get some mushrooms, enjoy, and send me an email and let me know how you like it.
Hi, everybody. Do you love everything paranormal, supernatural, or otherwise spiritual?
Well, of course you do. You're listening to Paranormal Karen.
If you like some humor sprinkled into your morning commute or wherever you listen to your podcast, we don't judge. We've got the most fantastic paranormal podcast for you.
I'm Dana.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Megan. We'd love for you to join us at Supernormal on YouTube or wherever else you get your podcast fix.
Trust us, it's weird, it's wild, and a whole lot of fun.
I'm not weird, you're weird.
Hey, everybody. Okay, so now this half of the podcast, this second half, is my new friend, Daisy Papp. Did I say that correct, Daisy? I don't even know that I...
Yes. Thank you.
I met in Fort Lauderdale, originally from Germany. You're going to hear her wonderful German accent, and I don't know how you made it sexy, but you did, Daisy, and she's as beautiful in person. We got talking about a couple of things. We're going to focus on the 5+2 theory, and I just go, Daisy, we're going to talk about the 5+2, and she goes, yes, and saving the world. And I was like, that sounds perfect. And Daisy, how did you come into, shall we say, the woo-woo or the spiritual world? Had you always been into it, or did you kind of fall into it? How did that go?
First of all, thank you, dear Karen, for having me on your show. This is a big privilege, and I truly, truly appreciate it. Thank you very much. How did I grow up in a spiritual family, I think is the question I have no answer to.
You just found your own way into it, and it worked, right?
Yeah, and my grandmother on the German side, she was very, very wise and very educated and very, very knowledgeable. And I think I received much learning from her, and I also inherited some, I think. And then as life happens and some big, not good things happened in my young age several times. And then I had questions and I wanted to know, so is it possible that I was born with a mark on my soul that that actually shows why things happen to me the way they do? And then I studied astrology for 12 years, and I studied numerology, even Hebrew numerology. And I then fast forward, realized that words matter. And that is where I am now, because when we look around the world and we see these big books that faith groups read and present around the world, then our Creator, that's what's written, what I'm reading there, he said that let there be light. And then there was light. And now when I think about it, that, so with words, and I tapped into this beautiful, empowering, I think it is a reception. I think it is a gift that I received. And I utilize it in my life, and I educate people around the world how to utilize it for themselves and how they can create with the power, knowing that words matter and words create matter. And that is fabulous.
That is. Now, that focuses, and you were telling me a little bit about this, and I said, don't tell me, because I want you to tell me on the podcast, because I like to kind of learn as I go on the podcast, and some other people might say, oh, she doesn't prepare, but I find it's more engaging if I don't know, asking those questions. So what is the 5+2 theory? Formula.
I find it, thank you for the question. I find it marvelous that you add to 5+2 the word theory.
Or formula, right?
Yes,
that's
a formula, yes. Yes, that's what it is what I write. But you see, now again with words, we interpret what we hear and decode it based on our own thinking. And that is why it's so worthwhile that we expand every day. And I know that you do that as well. You do that very well. So the 5+2, it's 5 easy words and 2 simple words. And what these help us with is that we learn trust. Now, without trust, that sounds maybe not that much empowering, but without trust, we have not much. And with trust, we have everything. Everything is possible. And with these 5 easy words and 2 simple words, the 5+2, we learn how trust is established, how it grows, how it evolves, how we maintain it, how we can even repair when there is some happenings where trust was not treated respectfully and with dignity and with integrity. And what really happens is, and I see it in corporations, I see it in businesses, I see it in marriages, I see it in families, I see it in relationships and communities. It's really beautiful how the ability and competence measuring trust enables people trusting themselves. Now, once they trust themselves, that is the moment when then they easily recognize and acknowledge in others how trustworthy they are. Ha. And then everything changes for the good. Everything.
Wow. And you do workshops on this and everything too, don't you?
Yes, I do. Thank you for asking. Actually, tomorrow we are having a workshop, and this time
this will air in July, so I
that is
apologize
fine.
about that.
we are continuously offering workshops, and we offer them with my dear friend Inka Firmich. She is the precious, beautiful soul wife for my dear friend Rainer Firmich, who is an attorney, and he did so much for humanity, for humanity's health, for humanity's freedom. And now Inka and I, we do much for humanity because many people help Rainer for his freedom. And
he's where is he again? And you told me this earlier.
He's in Germany now, and he's in Not Freedom, and we are doing everything we can, and we are many, and we manifest Rainer's freedom.
Okay. And, you can tell us a little bit about that if you want, and then we'll come back to the 5+2. Tell everybody what's happening.
So Dr. Rainer Firmich is an attorney at law licensed in Germany and in California. He studied in California and in Germany, and a very successful attorney. And what he is really renowned for is that he stands up for the people with integrity. And what he did, one big example, Deutsche Bank is one of the world big banks and internationally known, and also not very reputable for integrity. And what they did, they sold real estate with very little value for big money, and they had people invest in it, and that was not a good ROI, return on investment, and Rainer stood up for that and for the people, even to the highest courts in Germany. And so he has integrity and he loves humans. And then in 2020, when there was a micro crisis that was displayed for the world and all people, he stood up and he founded a committee, a Corona Investigative Committee, which later then he founded ICIC, International Crimes Investigative Committee, that is watched and applauded and praised around the world. And I do believe that some people who were co-creators and participants in this microbe crisis feel threatened by Rainer's work and Rainer's educational work worldwide, and they imprisoned him, and it's very clear it's political.
Wow. There is so much insanity going on. So this trusting and everything, we need it to prop us up a little bit, don't we?
I think now is always the right time, because now is all we have, and now is time that we learn trust and that we measure it. Because I spoke with many experts around the world who are, neuroscientists, psychologists, sociologists, and people who really know all what I don't. And they confirmed with me that had the 5+2, the formula for life, as you call it, a theory, but it's very practical, and it's practiced around the world more and more. And had people known, so humanity, known the 5+2 and practiced, let's say, beginning in 2010, 11, 12, what happened in 2020 would have not been possible.
Wow. Now, can you tell us a little bit about this, the words, or that's not the secret, right? You can
Yes,
tell us.
yes, sure. So when we look at becoming observers, I think that is very, very good idea, and it's very rewarding, because many people, they see and interpret it instantaneously. We all do. And in our not conscious mind, we have categories how we archive. So we see, let's say, an apple, and the one who likes apples says, aha, this is good. Then somebody who does not really like apples, but they also do not like apples, and for them it's neutral. And those who really, really do not like apples, it goes in the negative archive, yes, in the not good. And we categorize instantaneously without being aware. And when we become more observers and do not jump to conclusions, and we observe and see what is instead of the meaning we automatically give, because most of the time we give meaning to things, and these are not even our meanings. They are learned. Because when we come into this world as beautiful little babies, bundles filled with joy and love, then we do not give meanings to things. Let's say I say to you now a German word, let's say, du bist ganz wunderbar. Then for you, this has no meaning, because when you speak German, then it has meaning for you. I said, you are wonderful. You are fully wonderful. Yeah. Then when you know what it means, then it can have meaning for you. When you don't know what it means, then you are much more neutral, and you can remain in your logical and rational thinking, and also have access to the left frontal lobe where the genius is located, and also empathy and wisdom. And I think it is a good idea that we learn who we are and what our minds is capable of, because we are so capable and so competent, and I very much enjoy inspiring humans around the world. Now, when we are established in being a good observer and no longer jump to conclusions or project or mind read. Many people believe that I'm a mind reader, and then they find out that they're not that good at it, and asking questions instead. And we can do that when we are in our good state of mind, so good mindset. And that is what I advocate, mindset evolution. I also do that with my podcast, Bald and Blonde Mindset Evolution, with my podcast partner in Australia. She has no hair, so that's why she is bald and I'm blonde, obviously. And what we do with these words, so when you don't know how trust is measured, then it is easy to tell you the not truth, and you will believe it. When you then know the 5+2 words and or behaviors, for example, consideration, admiration, respect, empathy, dignity, having a word, what I mean with that, say what you mean and mean what you say, and then following through in a timely manner, and you measure people, or you just simply observe, Karen, for example, I'm observing you too, right? That's how I got to know you. And I see your brilliant show and your brilliant humor and to the point, and your wisdom and your forward thinking and foreseeing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I very much appreciate that, and I value that. And you, as I observed you are a 5+2er, meaning you live by the 5+2. That is how I feel comfortable being friends with you. Yes. That's my standard.
I have to tell you something funny. The lady that was on before you, we were just talking about empathy and compassion and sort of the difference. So it's almost interesting that the two overlap on this show. I didn't plan it that way.
Well, these are the gifts. Life gifts us gifts every present moment. And when we now know, every 3-year-old can learn that. Every 3-year young and every 95-year young can learn that. And they realize, oh, wow, they reflect on their life and see, now I see why this worked this way or did not work the way I want it. And that is a revelation that is like the epiphany, like 2,000 light bulbs all of a sudden enlighten us. And we have an inner standing. And that is beautiful. I'm observing people who practice the 5+2. They learn it and they practice. Oftentimes, when in a workshop we have a follow-up date where then they share with us what they learned and what they are experiencing and what they are noticing and what they are realizing, what they are really seeing now, and how beneficial and valuable this is for their lives and for all their relations.
So,
And
go ahead.
yes.
Sorry. I was just saying, yes. So I loved the 5 words, and then the 2, tell me the 2 again.
The 2 is having a word. What I say with that is stand with your word. Value your word. When you ask me, Daisy, are you wearing a red dress now? And I say yes, but I'm wearing a bright blue dress now, then I am not true to my word. And I'm not bringing truth into this world. Are not we all wanting truth in this world?
Yep.
Because with truth comes everything good. And when I have a word, meaning so I say what I mean and I mean what I say. And I can also admit I did say this not right. Now I give you a big, big insight. There is one word for health. And there are many, many, many words for not health. And they are not truth.
I love that. That is true. There is only one word for health.
So I have a friend of mine, he's German, he's a brilliant man. He collected for 35 years around the world what people truly, really feel fulfills them. So he collected fulfillments for heart's bliss around the world, all cultures, not all, but a variety, large variety. Cultures and faith groups and ages and very, very different lives. And he collected that and he found the common denominators. And he also realized that, how many people speak non-truth into this world? And I give you an example. The people who did not agree with the group, I'm choosing my words consciously, who did not agree with the 2020s, 2020, how things evolved and how the not trust was used and how the not secure feeling was promoted. I include myself in this because I find this was not right, what was done, and how the not secure and the not safe ways were put into the spotlight instead of promoting and advocating health and safety. And yes, you have an immune system, actually. You have an immune system, and this is how the species Homo sapiens survived this far. And
yeah, I mean, the immune system, it's crazy with all the stuff. Yeah. Anyways, go ahead. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
Yeah. So thank you. Well, this is a dialogue, Karen. Thank you for that.
I know. I will tell you, I even told the person before you, I've had a day, so it's been a little distracting. So, so I apologize for interrupting you, but go ahead.
That is fine. So you see what I just heard you say. Is that really true? Is that really true? Or is it more true that you do not focus?
Both are true. Both
but
are
you
very
see,
true. Yes.
But focus is good. So when we start feeding the good energy field, and we begin consciously feeding the good energy field, then that is growth, because wherever your focus goes, everything grows.
Right.
Many listeners and in your audience most likely agree, when they choose, this is the car that I'm getting, or I am having a baby now, then all of a sudden they see the strollers, and they see the baby clothing stores. They see pregnant women much more than before.
Yep.
So that's the RAS system that we all have in the brain. It's there here in the neck. It's reticular activating system. I call it Daisy language. It's the importance button. And we can see the importance button where we want to focus and where we want to increase the focus. And I think it is a very healthy idea and a very healthy practice that we all begin consciously feeding the good energy field. So what I choose to solely feed the good energy field. For example, 2 weeks ago, I had a non-health in my throat. And actually what I'm doing, and now I make an experiment with you, Karen. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, thank you. She's so courageous and brave. So I'd like you, please, under no circumstances, please do not think about the little squirrel that I saw playing yesterday with the kitten, and the kitten cutely believed it was its mommy, and they were playing in the yard. I asked you to please, under no circumstances, think about it. And I know exactly what you think about, because that is what that shows me now again the power in words. Yeah.
I have to tell you why it's even more powerful. So I put peanuts out on my window for my squirrels. And as you said that, the squirrels came up to the window and they're waiting for their peanuts. So for a minute I was like, whoa. But yes, I know that exactly that it would be like if I say, don't think about purple monkeys, then you're thinking about purple monkeys.
Okay. That shows us clearly, one, that the word not has a very special role in language. And this also shows the powerful words, how we manifest. Did you see? So I just said that to you, and you see the squirrel show up. That is manifestation. It can be, of course, some people call it like, oh yeah, things like this happen. When we utilize and practice and live our lives filled with truth and powerful words, then this is what happens, and it happens instantaneously.
Yeah.
This manifestation. So feeding the good. And I agree with the purple monkeys. Yes. So when we then, instead of feeding the not good, for example, people speak about the not peace. I say not peace. Other people have different words that they use. When they use different words for the not peace, then these are artificially constructed words that feed the not good field. Why would I do that? Once I know that, then I'm creator, and then I'm the creator for the good.
You know, it's, and you know what, especially, well, I want to say, there's a lot of that in this country right now, news and everything. And we have to program ourselves I kind of was going to say, I love that you have this down to a 5+2 formula, because it's something simple that we can remind ourselves all the time. Because, right, like you're saying, I think if we focus on every untruth that was said, it could even be as small as, no, you look great in that, which doesn't matter. That's, you know what I mean? You're not going to, I don't know, but it's still an untruth.
Yes. Yes. Brilliant. You see how simple this is? You hear this now for the first time, and you already internalize. Something happens in your mind, and it's so logical. And and yes, and we now feed the good, because that grows. There is this fairy tale, the Native American, so Indian, beautiful fairy tale, where they speak about the two wolves, and which one will grow strong and which one will grow big. The one you feed. So now, actually, what I realized, what I noticed, big epiphany. I did that not right when I speak. In the past, when I speak and say and use words regarding the not good. And I feed with that actually those who want the not good growing in this world. So actually I was utilized. I was a tool for them, although I believed so certainly that I did the right thing. I did it good. Yes, I was well intended. And now I see that now I know how I do it correctly and how I do it powerfully by solely focusing on the field where I add my energy, where I invest my thoughts, and where I invest my activities. Now, we have 70,000 thoughts a day. You do have 70,000 thoughts a day. Neuroscience, that's not my thought number. Okay, maybe some more. This is a number a neuroscientist gave me. And 70,000 thoughts. Now, most of them are not ours. They're learned and or practiced and or observed and or rubbed on us. Yes.
Program.
So we adopted, yes, that as well. And now we can recode that. We self-recode. That is very simple because now we know trust is trustworthy, and I can easily discern or differentiate from who is trustworthy and who is not trustworthy. And then I can absolutely consciously invest my energy for the good. And guess what? The ROI, the return on investment, energetically and in this world, it's not even multiplying. What it is, it's exponential growth.
Right.
For the good.
Well, you know what it made me think of? The on TikTok, the kids have a term. I say the kids. They don't say someone died. They say someone was unalived.
Yes, not alive. That is it. You see, now these kids, see wherever they received that that station, that wisdom station. Yeah, it can be in the ether, because it's everywhere. I congratulate them. I applaud them. Wonderful. Yes. And when we start speaking, yes, they are not alive. For example, my parents. Yeah. I am with no parents since I'm 17. And so that means that, so they are not alive. So my brain now, the knot, right, and my mind and the energy field, the knot has the special standing in language. So my parents are alive. Actually, that's what I'm saying. So I'm feeding life.
I love it. Oh, Daisy, you are wonderful. Yes. You are lovely.
Thank you. Thank you, Karen.
Yes, you turned my day into something, and I love that. Not healthy. That is my new phrase. That is brilliant.
Yes. Thank you. And I envision you on stage and you in your activities with humanity. Yeah.
Yep.
You add that. Imagine how many people receive such a peace wisdom that enlightens their life wherever you go, because now you carry it within you. You internalize it and you bring this into the world. You feed the good and you practice that. This is your habit. It's your nature. And that is Karen. And others see, because you live and lead by example and with example. This is how the world is. We create the world beautiful.
Yes, and I will try to even keep doing better. But this has been wonderful. All right, Daisy, I'm glad we got to be friends. Let's get where people can find you. So they can find you at thehumanism.global. What is that? Can you tell us what that is?
Yes, I can. So Humanism.global is an initiative that I created 2.5 years prior. It is, I do also express my thoughts in art, and my medium is steel nails. And I hammered, seriously, steel nails, 8 centimeter long steel nails. I think it's maybe 3 inch or 3.5 inch in length. And I hammered over 150 hours that I counted, a piece of art within 5 weeks. And what it is a figure. You can see it on my website. It is a figure. It is a torso, a human, with their arms up and their hands, tight and strong. And you see the muscles, and you see it's all made with nails. And lower at the torso, at the beginning from the torso, you see that there are not as many nails. And what it shows, when every nail represents a human, it shows when we come together we are strong.
I love it.
And
Oh, go ahead.
yeah.
And also you have, and these are all connected, folks. You have just your name, Daisy Papp, Papp, double P's, folks, .com, and selfrecording.com. That is
neat. Self-recoding.
recoding.
Recoding.
Okay.
Yes.
Recoding. Yes.
Yeah, because we update our wisdom and we upgrade.
Yes. And then lastly is your podcast, which is baldandblonde.live.
Yes, correct. Yes. You are prepared, you see.
I am a little bit.
Very well.
Well, listen, this is wonderful. In fact, I can't wait to listen to that podcast myself. I have a long drive this weekend, so it's going to be great. So
enjoy. It's all about mindset evolution. It's all mindset evolution. And we did weekly shows, and then we now focus on very empowering projects. And we still do the podcast, but there are more than 200 episodes.
Great.
And we have listeners in more than 100 countries.
Fantastic. Well deserved.
Please join.
All right, my friend. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, Karen. And dear listeners, daisypapp.com, you find a plethora of tools and a plethora of gifts and goodies. And come and visit and join the workshop, because your life is empowered by you, by yourself.
Yes, and I'll put all that in the show notes. And
thank you.
Yes, and folks, thanks for listening. Check out the Patreon. Check out my tour dates. Thanks to Mike at Uno Rising Media, and we will see you all in 2 weeks.
Paranormal Karen, she's a spooky kind of queen. Paranormal Karen.